earlier people missing in the boat accident.
Yeah.
3 days ago, we had a call from a community in the Volta region called Veime that one body has been found dead. Yesterday, around 7 a.m., we also had a call from a mother in the Volta region that another body has been found dead. So all these two bodies were brought to Adan. One has been deposited at the district hospital morgue, and the other one, because the body was deteriorating, the family has to put themselves together and bury her yesterday. So in total, we found 2 bodies dead, and then 2 are still missing.
Okay, so I know somewhere last week you mentioned that you're going to extend your search to the weekend. Is it that you've called off the search, or you still continue with your mission?
I believe, yes, search is over yesterday. We gave ourselves 3 days, NADMO together with Ghana Navy to do 3 days searching. And so yesterday was the 3rd day, searching is over. We now rely on communities around the shore, from Adan to Asau, to give us information as and when they found a body alive or dead. They should inform us so we go for them.
It appears that very area takes a lot of lives. I don't know if there's been any conscious effort to educate farmers that maybe this is a place that we should not go to, or maybe if you are fishing around that area, you should be very careful around that area. Has there been any desperate, intentional measures to do that, to deal with that?
Several efforts has been made. NADMO together with Ghana Navy has been sensitizing the people of Adan, especially those who ply the waters day in and out. We also organize meetings for fishermen. I can remember last 2 months ago, Ghana Navy NADMO together with Tourism Authority Adan District, we also organized a meeting for these boat operators. And we made them understand that the sea nowadays has become rough. So they should be cautious as and when they go on the sea. We also encourage them to be in their life jacket if they want to go on waters. So I may say enough of effort has been made to create awareness about the dangers of the sea.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Nate. He is the NADMO coordinator for Adan East. He was updating us on the Adan boat disaster, and he just confirmed that one body has been found missing. We'll still be following up on this and update you in our subsequent bulletins. And a political historian at the University of Ghana, Professor Ransford Jampo, has called on Samuel Atachia, chairman of the ad hoc committee, probing the leaked audio recording on a purported plot to oust the Inspector General of Police to recuse himself. According to him, the committee chair has conducted himself in a manner that makes him appear more like a defense counsel to the 3 police officers at the center of the leak tape.
I see Atachia not as a credible chairman. A chairman must be sober and listen. Yes, you are supposed to be steering the affairs of the committee, but you must approach that duty and role with a certain sobriety and maturity in a manner that does not point or give you out as having taken sides. It appears that rather than be a chairman, he is playing a certain surreptitious role as a lead counsel for those who are making the accusations and those who are looking for the opportunity to serve as IGPs so that they can subvert the will of the people. It is not by force that he chairs this committee. I am accusing him of taking sides.
And now let's delve deeper into this very development. And we're joined via Zoom by Dr. Adam Bona, who is a security analyst. Doc, good afternoon. Good to have you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
Doc, you're aware of Professor Jampo's position on Atachia's role as chairman of the ad hoc committee. You are raising similar concerns.
Yes, day one, that's day 2 or so, when the other witnesses, including COP, retired now, Alex Mensah, were in to give testimony. You could see that the, Honorable Atachia was more or less like a lead counsel for, what do you call it, Alex Yeboah, Mr. Alex Yeboah. And I raised concerns. I mean, I'm sure on your network I did, and on several networks I did. I have also chaired committees that are of national in nature. And when you chair these committees, you are supposed to work, in a manner that allows your members, the members of your committee, to be able to speak directly to the issue. But you notice that publicly, you saw Atachia one way or the other saying, I overrule you, as if they are in court. Or as if, and you ask yourself that this is a fact-finding committee. This is not adversarial committee. And so, yes, I would side with my good brother, Professor Jampo, and say that I think it is high time the speaker asked him to step aside so that you see whatever report they put together will be a report that the general public would accept, that the plenary, parliament would accept. And I say this, I give you a typical example. If you go back to I think, day one of the sitting when Alex Mensah got there, when it was put to Alex Mensah, when they asked him, are you a card-bearing member of the NPP? Just when the COP retired now was about to say yes, then you had Honorable Atachia tell him, no, you cannot say this because it has dire consequences. And I asked myself, it's none of your business. It is not your business to guard witnesses. But he went ahead and did it. And some of us, and you can see his subsequent, posture. Atachia is somebody I respect a lot. But I think that on this call, I would side with Professor Jampo and ask that if the speaker is minded, he can ask him to recuse himself because the manner in which he has handled the committee sitting to a point where witnesses have come to make allegations publicly against another person, then you continuously say you want that person to come and respond to the public allegations that has been made against him,
Doc,
in camera.
Yeah. Doc, moving forward, so the ad hoc committee meets on October 2 to look into new 2-hour tape. So are you saying Atachia should stay or he should recuse himself?
Well, he didn't appoint himself. So I will say the speaker should look into it and if possible, ask him to step aside. But I think the 2nd October thing, I don't know where that is coming from because Intel I picked suggests it's supposed to be 2nd November. I stand to be corrected. But the 2nd October thing, I don't know where it's coming from. Kindly check from your sources and get it corrected because I've heard October 2nd, but from credible sources, it's supposed to be November 2nd and not
Sure.
October
When we get that, we'll
2nd.
surely update our viewers. But before we part company, with the in-camera hearings, would you advise that that continues or the public should be made to watch what transpires?
You see, unless, of course, after they finish the in-camera hearing, there will be another committee set up by the speaker to interrogate the leaked interrogations that took place in camera. Because you see, the reason I say this is that whatever report they are going to put together will end up at the plenary. My member of parliament, your member of parliament, must discuss this in the public gallery. And so then the question is that if you are going to discuss something that you deem it to be of national security concern, are we going to have two sets of reports, one for the public, one for parliament that must not come out, and one for parliament that must come out? So I think that whatever we need to hear, we have heard it. You heard him say they are going to cross-examine themselves. And you ask yourself, is this some adversarial process where you are looking for somebody, you are saying that Alex Mensah is guilty or Asari is guilty? You are only a fact-finding committee.
Okay.
You cannot pronounce anybody guilty. Your report must make recommendations. But it looks like Honorable Atachia is mixing the purpose for which they were put up. And so if you ask me, I have chaired similar committees. And so I don't know what I don't know what the intention is, and I don't know what the agenda is. But if it's going by the TOR, I will tell you that he's deviated.
Sure. Thank you so much. Dr. Adam Bonya is a security analyst, and he joins Professor Ransford Jampo's position to have the chair of the ad hoc committee looking into the leaked tape to ask the IGP to recuse himself based on his role on the ad hoc committee. This is a development that interests us, and so we'll be following up keenly and updating you in our subsequent bulletins. And now let's do some politics. Former President John Dramani Mahama has given a future NDC government will complete all abandoned projects commenced in both the previous and current administrations. He was addressing the Zongo Stakeholders Forum in Accra.
There are several projects we're doing that have been abandoned. When we were sharing the E-blocks, several of them were allocated to Zongo and Muslim communities. Many of those schools have been abandoned. And I've made a promise that when we come, we're going to continue all the abandoned projects. Not only the abandoned projects of NDC, but because we are patriotic and well-meaning political party, even the projects that this current NPP government does not finish, when we come into office, we'll continue them and finish them. Because these projects are being executed with the taxpayers' money, the money of Ghanaians. And so when you abandon a project, you're wasting the money of Ghanaians, not the money of a political party. And so we'll continue those projects and we'll complete them.
Well, if you just tuned in, you're watching Midday Live here on TV3 with me, Josh Quinn. More news this afternoon. Over 350 structures have been gutted by fire at CMB Abuja behind Cocoa Board in Accra. Emmanuel Samani visited the scene and reports.
It is a devastating moment for victims here at Abuja CMB in Accra. This will be the second major fire incident here in the last 3 years, and victims are not finding it easy. The cause of the fire is yet to be ascertained, but the fire is said to have started in the room of Samuel Atanga.
I share accommodation with a few others. I try to notify my neighbors that I can't do anything about the fire from my room.
Some affected residents and traders expressed their frustration and disappointment.
4 o'clock, I'm here, the call, my phone is bearing, and he called me that Abuja was bearing with your site when you are working. The tourists, then I'll take the car to come to my shops inside. But when I come, I see the fire was burning everything in here.
A lot of my goods have been destroyed. Even goods I had to deliver to customers in Kumasi have been destroyed. I've lost everything. This is where we all trade. The fire started from someone's room. Unfortunately, there was a gas cylinder and it exploded throughout the place.
The fire service personnel at the scene did their best to salvage the situation.
In all, we used 4 appliances, including 1 ambulance. Now the situation is under control. A lot of things have been destroyed. This place is used as commercial and then dwelling places. Again, people have lost their properties, although some people started to salvage some of the items, but the majority of them have lost their items.
Well, we have the National PR of the National Fire Service with us in the studio to react to this, and that's ADO1, Alex Kenati. Good to have you.
Good to have you. A quick correction. I'm not actually the National PRO. I'm with the PR department at the
You actually get there.
Yeah, my boss is there. Don't be in trouble.
Soon get there. So, what was the response time when the fire service was contacted?
Well, we received a call at exactly 5:04 hours, and within 2 minutes, you know, we have a station at Makola. Within 2 minutes, our appliance got there. And upon arrival at the fire ground, they realized that the fire was fast spreading. This was because there were loads of wooden structures there, and these wooden structures had gas cylinders and deep freezers in there, so it aided in the fire spreading fast. So our station had to call on about 3 other appliances from headquarters, ministries, and then our circle station to help to augment and put the situation under control.
So when such fires occur, the fire service, prepares these reports. But do you guys actually implement some of these recommendations?
You see, as a service, the fire service does not have the prosecutorial powers to take on people, and the markets are the markets belong to the assemblies, so they are the custodians. So when we are done with our investigations, we hand over our recommendations and our reports to them. So I think it's one attitudinal issue, people having a nonchalant attitude towards the issue of fire, because we have our fire safety team who go to every corner to educate people, but the reception of people towards them is the problem. So one, the political will of sometimes the assemblies, because you realize that our markets, most of our markets are very old, and the wiring become a problem.
Even access
becomes, because there were other parts of the market that needed firefighting, but our appliance had to park at quite a distance to be able to lay a line of hose to fight the fire from that end. So it's been a challenge, and it's our hope that the assemblies would come in to help us, because we couldn't even get any close place to replenish. The good thing for us was that the police MTTD at the regional headquarters had a working hydrant around there. The pressure was not even so good. That's why we had to go and replenish and come back. So it's always remained a problem for us.
Okay. So this very outbreak comes a week after one that was, happened in Ashaiman. It seems there's a resurgence of market fires.
Well, I would say as compared to last year or the previous years, you'd realize that there's been quite a reduction in the spate of fire, market fires this year, meaning that it's rather unfortunate that it's been back to back. But as a service, we are not reneging. I think we are doing our best, and I think they should spare us to do more to try to change people's attitude. Because as I said, people always take their security much seriously than they do for their safety, which becomes a problem. But they need to find a fine balance between their security and safety to protect themselves.
Okay, and as we are going to end the third quarter of 2023, what is the national figure looking like in terms of fire outbreaks?
Well, the figure looks a bit, we've had some reduction as compared to the kind of fires that we had last year. So we are, meaning that our message is going down well with people, and it's our hope that, we've already started working on our strategies and our targets for next year, and I'm hoping that from next year, we'll have much more reduced space of fires.
So in cases where we've had fire outbreaks in regions like Ashanti region, the concerns were that they were burglar-proof, that trapped victims in there. Moving forward, what advice do you have for homeowners?
So again, burglar-proofs are important, because, and then again, they cause into question the fact that
even the metal gates,
and you see, and some of these Chinese doors, they are metallic. And metal expands once subjected to heat. So we always advise people that if you'd have to even go in for a metal door, look for one that is fire compliant.
Exactly.
That takes your safety also into consideration, and does not only think about your security, because then once there's fire, the door would expand and it becomes difficult for you to go out, which will become a problem. So we'd ask people that in buying things for your home, when you're thinking about your security, think about your safety. Because even with the burglar proofs, now we have the collapsible ones, where you're able to collapse it and then go out. Do occasional fire drills with your children. Let your children know where the emergency numbers of the Ghana National Fire Service offhand, because children have much more retentive memory than we, the elderly.
They also call sometimes to tease you guys.
Yes, we had. I spent a day at our control room, and it was quite disappointing.
I want to eat rice.
Someone said my mother has just beat me.
So what do you want you to do?
Exactly. Someone called and said I love you to one of our call attendants. So frivolous. And you see, at the end of the day, when people are indulging in these frivolous and petty calls to the fire service, someone might have a genuine or legitimate concern that he needs to pass across to the service. So then you become a stumbling block to the person being able to get genuine access to the Ghana National Fire Service.
Thank you so much. AGO1 Alex Kinate is with the Communications Department of Ghana National Fire Service, and they're advising, the listeners out there that they should take their fire safety tips seriously. And moving away from that, data from the first quarter of the 2022 annual household income and Expenditure Survey, IHS, indicates that among paid workers, women earned 34.2% less than men. The estimated gender wage gap adjusts for age, approximate years of work experience, highest level of education attended, main occupation, industry, employment sector, and region of residence. The gender wage gap is lowest among paid workers with tertiary education or more, where women earn 12.7% less than their male counterparts. The wage gap is highest among workers with basic education, that's 60.1%, followed by workers with no education, that's 54.0%. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, when comparing sectors of employment, the gender wage gap is highest in the private informal sector, where women are paid 58.7% less than men. This is followed by the private formal sector, with a wage gap of 29.9%. The public sector, where women are paid 10.5% less than men, has the lowest gender wage gap. Among the population aged 36 to 60 years, women are paid 33.4% less than men, a wage differential amongst 3.0 percentage points higher than for the age group 15 to 35 years, where women were paid 30.7% less than their male counterparts. Well, I'm sure this is something that interests you, and so we're going to delve deeper into it and actually engage a labor consultant, Seth Ablosu. Good afternoon. Good to have you on Midday Live.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
Seth, I know you are privy to this very content by the Ghana Statistical Service. Are you worried about the wage differential between men and women, and when women earn 34.2% less than men? What do you make of this?
Thank you. The worrying development is that attention to a situation like this was drawn, government's attention to a situation like this was drawn in the report of the Professor Yan Tiamwa-Bedi Committee report. In June 2020, the report part of the report had urged government to take urgent steps to address the disparities in public sector salaries so that workers will live in dignity. In dignity. June 2020, this is September 2023, and no action had been taken on the Yan Tiamwa-Bedi report to address disparities in public sector salaries. It's a similar situation that has been amplified for attention by the Ghana Statistical Service, now drawing away to gap in gender gaps in salary administration.
Okay. You can go on.
Note that we have a Fair Wages and Salaries Commission in this country. So when a committee draws attention to disparities in public sector salaries and urges government to take urgent steps to address this, and nothing is done about it for 3 years plus, then it's not only worrying, but it's very disturbing.
Okay.
Very disturbing, an indication of the fact that people who are upstairs don't care about those who are downstairs.
Okay, Seth, you've actually preferred some solutions. Looking at the body or entity that should be at the forefront, should it always be the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, or there can be other agencies that will, support their, the activities?
The Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, supported by the Ghana Employers Association,
okay,
and organized labor, because these institutions that I'm referring to cannot say that they are not aware of the recommendations of the Professor Yan Tiamwa-Bedi report.
Okay. So if I got you right, you are not actually okay with the recommendations implemented from the report?
No. As far as addressing disparities in public sector salaries, nothing has been done. Nothing has been done. What has been done is only for the president and members of parliament.
Okay.
And some are even taking more than they deserve.
Okay. Seth, as an expert, with wage disparity, what impact would that have on the performance of women? And does it discourage them in performing their work?
No, not only on women, but other workers as well. It's very demoralizing.
Okay.
Especially when it creates a situation where you are not living in dignity. where your dignity is undermined. That's a very disturbing development. And in some places, you see, where workers are given, for example, let's say 20% salary increase. Those in management also take 20% salary increase when they shouldn't. As you go upstairs, the level of increase should reduce. The level of increase should reduce. And in there, I will urge members of boards of directors to shine their eyes and look at how salaries are administered in especially public sector institutions.
Okay. Seth Ablosu, thanks so much for your time. He's a labor consultant, and he was reacting to Ghana Statistical Service report that says that women are actually receiving lesser than men. And for him, that is demoralizing, and he has also professed some solutions in tackling that. If you just tune in, you're watching Media Live on TV3. Just engage us, go onto our social media platform, TV3 Ghana, especially Facebook, and let us know what you make of stories that have been aired and those that are yet to be aired as well. The Commissioner for the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Shraj Joseph Whittal, has called for support and advocacy for the passage of the Affirmative Action Bill. He believes that the passage of the bill is necessary for gender equality, which is critical for a flourishing democracy. Take a listen.
The Affirmative Action Bill is to foster female representation in decision-making in Ghana and ensure gender equality. The bill targets women's participation in decision-making by proposing that 40% of public offices be reserved for women. It has, however, received little attention by various governments for over a decade. At a democracy lecture, Commissioner of the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Joseph Whittal, said gender equality is crucial in democracy and development.
Why would you take or submit yourself to be elected and to form a government and to set up, give appointments to people for public service, and you don't want their integrity to be questioned? I'm at a loss. What is this type of democracy?
The 2020 presidential candidate for the Progressive People's Party, Bridget Jogbenuku, mentioned that the low women's representation in key decision-making positions is hindering contribution of women in Ghana's development.
There are more women in the country than there are men. Having women participate in political leadership makes developmental sense. This is not just for the beauty of it, or just to say, okay, so we have, or for tokenism. We actually contribute economically to the development of this country.
Affirmative action has worked in some other African countries like South Africa and Rwanda, and advocates believe that there is time for Ghana to also pass the bill. Women's representation in policy-making positions in Ghana is below the United Nations threshold of 30%. Currently, women's representation in Parliament is at 14.5%, while it is below 5% in the District Assembly system. In March this year, Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Laribat Zuwera Abudu, mentioned on the floor of Parliament that the bill had been resubmitted to Cabinet for consideration.
In more news this afternoon, government is reaffirming its commitment to closing the country's learning gap by improving public library access despite the ongoing literacy challenges faced by women and children. Christian Yale reports.
Literacy is a global issue of dignity and human rights, yet many in Ghana struggle to access public libraries, leading to gaps in information access, highlighting the need for improved accessibility.
If people are not able to read, they will not be able to patronize your public libraries. But it is a worrying trend across the globe, and all of us have to join hands to be able to make sure that we support and make sure that children by the age of 10 are able to read.
Ghana's literacy rate is below the global average, with 7.9 million Ghanaians aged 6 and above struggling to read and write. The Ghana Statistical Service highlights the urgent need for more accessible public libraries and adequate books.
We used to have 61 libraries, and over the last 6 years we've managed to increase it to 118. On Wednesday I am commissioning 4 new libraries. The goal, of course, is to also make sure that every district in Ghana will have at least one static library.
Ghana is actively working to enhance its public library system to become a learning nation.
Because libraries in general are just a safe haven for people who like to learn and also people who just like to do studies and different things. The adult illiteracy rate is also quite high, not just in Ghana, but in the world as a whole.
Being in a library is like you being in a world of books. And actually, my experience in being in a library has improved my thinking.
Projects like these are important because they help to expose students to reading materials which improve literacy in Ghana.
You can enter any of our public libraries for free and sit down and read. If you want to start borrowing, then you need to pay, but the cost varies based on location of a public library. Some libraries charge as low as 5 Ghana cedis per year, while some charge as high as 500 Ghana cedis per year, depending on the location.
The International Literacy Day highlights existing issues and the need for prioritizing literacy, with increased investment in the library system being recommended as a solution. Christian Yali, TV3 News, Accra.
You're still watching Midday Live. We're going for a quick commercial break. When we come back, there are more news stories, particularly one on prostate cancer by Emmanuel Samani. Stick with us.
Jackpot of the week. Place bets and hit the jackpot. Log into the OneXBet account. Click on the Take Part button. Place bet and take part in the jackpot draw. Give your luck a chance. Use promo code to get a bonus on your first deposit.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below 18 years. Gambling can be addictive.
Legends don't just speak, and when they speak, they make sure they leave a mark. And this week's episode of The Day Show is nothing short of that. You graduated with what? A project management degree?
Yeah.
Tell me why you went back to school.
I promised my mom that I would go to uni. But then before I realized, SRC president was calling.
Has the president failed?
I'm a person that does not buy into the idea of build a national cathedral. It's purely misplaced priority.
Okay. What do you say about all this conversation about why Ghanaians are not up there, we're not winning a Grammy, etc.? That is not all. Beyond Samini, we also have the Arc Band. You'd love to listen to them all day long. So don't miss The Day Show this week right here on TV3, Sunday at 3 p.m. See you.
The Day Show, Sundays at 3 p.m. on TV3.
This program is sponsored by Onga.
As Ghana had Kwame Nkrumah, Kenya also had leaders like Jomo Kenyatta who became symbols of hope in a fight for independence.
Navigating the complexities of adulthood as a young woman can be challenging. Balancing various life issues can feel overwhelming. This week on Ghana's Most Beautiful, contestants will shed light on the unique challenges women face and work together to explore solutions. Join us for an emotional experience with the contestants this Sunday at 8 p.m. on TV3. To ensure your favorite contestant advances in the competition, vote by dialing *713*13# or by downloading the TV3 reality app. GMB 23, Ghana's beauty, Africa's pride.
GMB 2023 is sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix, GTP, Techno Camon 20 Series, AT, Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula, Geisha Moringa and Geisha Black Soup, Key Soap, Bell Pack Tissues, Sankofa Natural Spices, Vitamilk, Deluxy Acrylic Paint, Nescofa Black Tonic, Heaven Black Mosquito Spray and Coil, Enapa Foods, Freedom from from Casapreco,
Frutelli Calipo,
Duffy's Health and Beauty, Obuasi Bitters, Nubunawo Mwankasa, Dragnet, Shalatem, Top Choco.
Save 500.
Global Wings Travel and Tour.
Makeup was done by House of Tara.
The battle is still on, bragging rights still very strong. Who carries the day this week for Group H? Is this going to be Anyako SHS?
We are the Hoholians, and we are not just here to cook.
Wesley girls?
We are not just brainy beauties, we are masters in the kitchen as well.
Ola girls?
We won't like to talk much, we like to show actions.
Or Christian Methodist?
We'll let our fingers do the talking, and your tasting will do the judging.
Yeah, can't say, oh, because that was saying, and then let's see it. We are seeing everyone say,
27, 26, 25, hey, 24, 23. All the action is right here on TV3, Sunday, 5 p.m. with me, Cookie T. It is Kitchen Wars Season 2.
Kitchen Wars Season 2, Sundays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix.
And Napa Foods. Say Napa. Enye Ono Soko.
PGL.
It is said that all drugs are poisons, but the right dose is what differentiates a poison from a remedy. Did you know that globally more than 11.8 million deaths are recorded each year as a result of drug misuse?
Did you also know that most adverse drug events could have been prevented if only you had spoken to your pharmacist?
And are you aware that untreated sexually transmitted infection could lead to infertility in the long term?
Ask Your Pharmacist is the only health show that brings pharmacists to the discussion to educate you on what that drug does to your body and help you better understand the medical condition and that pill before you swallow it.
So join us as we bring you exciting, compelling, and didactic health content every week right here on the station. My name is Peggy.
My name is Asabia.
And I am Kunedu. And we are your hosts.
Ask Your Pharmacist. Stay informed. Stay healthy. Ask Your Pharmacist Season 3 is proudly brought to you by Dragnet, the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, Let Up Pharmaceuticals, Chango, U School, and the Tema Christian Eye Center.
Ask Your Pharmacist shows Sunday at 1 p.m. on TV3.
Welcome back from the break. In more news this afternoon, 60% of men in Ghana will develop prostate cancer, out of which 75% will die from the disease. In this report, Emmanuel Samani delves into the inspiring journey of Nathaniel, a prostate cancer survivor, and gathers insights from medics on the scope of this disease.
The results also came, and that also confirmed the 2 tumors but then fortunately they were only confined in the prostate.
Nat was diagnosed with prostate cancer at the age of 67. Like many others, he initially struggled with the news. With the unwavering support of his family, Nat decided to confront his diagnosis head-on.
We had to decide which option to take. That's what we decided with the family and the children, to go in with the radical prostatectomy, where the prostate gland will entirely be removed.
It was a difficult decision, but one that ultimately saved his life.
Lo and behold, by God's grace, by the following Sunday, which was almost 1 week, I was discharged. But then, one revelation that came to us was that even on the hospital bed, on the 3rd day, when the doctors were coming around, and with the catheter on, I saw the thing.
Today, Nat is a beacon of hope for those grappling with prostate cancer. To provide a comprehensive understanding of prostate cancer, we turn to Dr. Bernard Tobo, a consultant urologist with years of experience in treating this disease.
Prostate is actually from Latin prostato, for gatekeeper. and that seeks to suggest one of its key rules, especially when you're below 40. It helps with urinary continence. And then the prostate also produces over 50% of the human ejaculate. I'm talking about the semen.
Dr. Towo explains that prostate cancer is the second most common cancer among men worldwide.
Prostate cancer is a disease of aging. It tends to be more prevalent as you age, so you find a higher incidence among those in their 70s and above. But we've started seeing cases in those who are younger, and generally it tends to occur earlier in those with very strong familial links.
But how can one protect themselves from prostate cancer? Dr. Towo elaborates on the various treatment options available, ranging from surgery and radiation therapy to active surveillance.
When you have frequent sexual encounters, then it tends to cleanse or decongest or protect the prostate. At least if you can have 3 times in a week, that should be good. Every year you get your prostate checked. Dietary modifications are very, very important.
Dr. Bright, the Chief Medical Officer at SynLab Ghana, highlights the prevalence of prostate cancer in our society.
The men who actually develop prostate cancer in their lives, of which that's about 60% of men who develop prostate cancer, we actually have 75% of these people actually dying as a result of the complications of prostate cancer, or the prostate cancer itself.
He shared some alarming statistics from his facility indicating an uptick in the number of cases in recent years.
Since the beginning of the year, SynLab has tested about 5,500 men. And of this number, we have 5,100 that are men above the age of 40. And that's what we encourage, that men above the age of 40 should test as often as they can. And of this number, we have 33%, which translates into 1,600 of these men actually testing values of PSA that are above the normal range, which is above 4. And these people are people who have issues or some issue with the prostate, of which prostate cancer could be one of those issues.
Dr. Bright emphasizes that promoting awareness and encouraging men to undergo routine prostate screenings could significantly reduce the burden of the disease. Prostate cancer is a formidable opponent, but it can be overcome. Nat's triumphant journey and our medics' insights shed light on the importance of awareness, early detection, and a multidisciplinary approach to treatment. Prostate cancer can be challenging, but with the right support and medical expertise, like in the case of Nathaniel, it is a battle that can be fought and won. Emmanuel Samani, TV3 News, Accra.
Sport is next with Kevin Owusu after the break. Stay with us.
Jackpot of the week. Place bets and hit the jackpot. Log into the OneXBet account. Click on the Take Part button. Place bet and take part in the jackpot draw. Give your luck a chance. Use promo code to get a bonus on your first deposit.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below 18 years. Gambling can be addictive.
Get ready for another cultural explosion like never before. On 21st September, Africa will witness an ultimate celebration of African diversity and flavor at the 3FM Afro Connect event. This is the place to experience the magic of African arts and creativity. You also get to unite in a sizzling jollof war competition, igniting a culinary showdown. Will Côte d'Ivoire hold the jollof war title? So whether you're passionate about food, art, games, or simply making new connections, 3FM Afro Connect event on the 21st of September is the place to be. Venue, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. To sell, call 053-220-0927. 3FM Afro Connect, connecting Africa and beyond. Brought to you by 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio. Sponsored by Tasty Tom, ECG Power App, Festival, Mega 6 Lotto, Accel Washing Powder.
Are you ready to win solid cash
every day with Cash Out. Be a proud winner of lots of cash simply by watching or listening to any of Media General stations. That's right, you are being rewarded for your loyalty. Tune in to all Media General brands. TV3, 3FM 92.7, Onia TV, Onia FM 95.1, all in Accra, Akuma FM 87.9 in Kumasi, and Connect FM 97.1 in Takoradi. To enter the Cash Out raffle on your favorite Media General station, just dial *439#. Follow the prompt and pick your favorite platform to enter. Voila! You are now eligible to become one of the 10 lucky winners of a cool cash prize. Remember, this is every day, all day on your favorite Media General station. Cash out and win big! This is in partnership with Radio Entertainment Limited. This promo is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
Good afternoon. It's time for sports here on Middle Life. My name is Kelvin Oswonsa. Starting with boxing, CEO for the Box Office Sports Promotions, Alex Ntiamoboakye, has attributed Ghana's inability to qualify for the Summer Olympics to insufficient preparations and the decrease of the quota for Africa.
Bombers and 5 hitters failed in their separate campaigns, humiliating Ghana's hopes of repeating its 2020 Tokyo Olympic achievements. The setback has sparked contentious discussions, with some commenters demanding the removal of the technical team's leader. Alex Ntiamoboakye, boxer promoter and the chief executive officer of the Box Office Promotions, claims that a systematic failure is to blame for the issue.
Inadequate preparation. It's all boils to the funding. You know, there are people who have been preparing themselves 2 years ago. They have gone to 2 African Championships, but Ghana failed to participate in the last 2 years. Also, we didn't get good preparation in terms of camping. You cannot use just 1 month campaign to go and win over people who have been in camping for a long time. And also the second thing is, this year is just 1 person being selected. So if you are not able to win a gold, there is no way you will be selected to go to the Olympic.
Alex Ntiama, one of the gold medalists in the 2023 Homowo Box Up competition, visited the CEO of Base Pharmacy Limited in Accra, one of the primary sponsors of the event.
We were very satisfied to see these young people doing their best and winning all these trophies for themselves. It shows their commitment to all these things that they want to do and brings out that passion in everything that they do. So this is a stepping stone for them to achieve something greater in their lives, and it's for them to bring Ghana's flag up, so that when they go somewhere, they'll say that, hey, I did this, I achieved that, and this is where I am now. Thank you.
At the meeting, improvements of amateur boxing were also explored.
Now let's get into football, and Ghana Premier League returnees Bufo Akwatano were impressive as they held Great Olympics to a goalless draw at the Accra Sports Stadium. Let's take a look at the highlights and reactions from the coaches after the game.
Saka's delivery straight to Asari. Solomon Chunis corner. Ashikwe goes down in the box. No foul. Here is Osei. Here is Ansan. He shoots on the weaker left foot, and it's a goal kick. 40 minutes in Accra. Olympics nil. Bofakwa nil. Ali Al Hassan. Here is Bafo. Godami. Now Boakye sends the cross. Najib. Flag is up, offside. Adari has taken the whistle to his mouth. And that's the final whistle at the Accra Sports Stadium. Second game.
Yeah, for me, I think it's a good result. You know, coming to Accra and then playing against Olympics. What initially we tried to do is not to concede. So we were very sure if we don't win, at least we don't have to concede, and then we can get a draw. So for me, I think it falls within our expectation. So for me, I think it's a good result for us.
I'm really disappointed because earlier on I told you how Bofakwa is coming, and I will have an antidote to them. In fact, the first half they dominated the game. Until the second half, I have to do some changes that we have to have a drawn game.
Now to the English Premier League, and there were victories for Tottenham Hotspur as well as Manchester City and Liverpool on match week 4 from the international window that closed. Now, elsewhere, Manchester United had to slip to a third defeat of the season as an impressive Brighton defeated them 3-1 at the Old Trafford. The highlights.
Safe, but here's Bowen to Sofa, and Doku has to go some to get back at him. Had a bright first half at times, and here he goes! Oh, it's a moment of quality for this new talent in the Premier League. Alvarez, the scoop ball, and they're in again! Well, that's what Silva, and they have the numerical advantage here, City. Can he pick the right pass? It's Holland!
Now Adingra, Lallana, Welbeck! What a finish! João Pedro! Hannibal. Coming through, Hannibal! Well, what a finish that
was! Great work from Neto. And in! Hwang Hee-chan! Jota, it will come to Salah, and it's touched home for a Liverpool equaliser. Robertson again, it's Robertson! Absolutely fabulous! Up his options, finding Elliott, who off the post finds a third for Liverpool. If there was doubt before, there is none now. He's got great distance on that. Over McBurney. Hammer! Quite incredible, isn't it? Corner number 15 for Spurs. Richarlison! Højbjerg. Richarlison. Kulusevski. Oh, would you believe it? A sensational victory for Tottenham Hotspur. Magic for Spurs, tragic for Sheffield United.
Well, Everton play against Arsenal this afternoon at 3:30 p.m. and Sean Dyche says things are looking positive with Everton's squad fitness ahead of this afternoon's game against Arsenal, as Mikel Arteta has spoken on facing his former side, Everton, who were a bigger part of his career.
As a manager, you want to try and strengthen in as many areas as possible. The financial situation, I've spoken as freely and openly as I can. On the other hand, the people coming back to fitness. You know, Dom back on the grass again and should be clear. Jack Harrison's now on the grass with us as a team, only the last few days, but that's good news and he's feeling good. Deli's still a bit of time away, Shams is still a bit of time away, but they're on the grass with the physios, so that's good, but not working with us in the team. Dobbo, he's back. He trained with us. I'm trying to think what else we're missing.
Branthwaite, Tark.
Oh yeah, no, Jared's fine. Yeah, they're fine. Just you know, knocks and nothing too major. So yeah, so we are getting stronger.
It is obviously it's a big emotional attachment to that football club. You know, the way they treat me, the years that I spent there, the incredible memories that I have. So always grateful. It was a big part of my playing career, and now as a coach I have to play against them, and obviously I want to beat them. So we've been here, and we've been before I came as well in grounds that for 17 years we haven't won, and we've done it, you know. So it's just understanding the importance, what we lacked in those games, and try to put it right and do it.
That will be all for sports this afternoon. My name is Kelvin Oswans. Entertainment News up next.
In entertainment news this afternoon, Blandina Seka Gumenu, a teacher at the Dodome Chiko DA Primary School in the whole district of the Volta region, has been crowned Miss Tourism 2023. She beat stiff competition from 9 other poised delegates to win the coveted crown at the well-attended final, which went down at the National Theatre on Friday night. For emerging tops, Blandina Seka gets to represent Ghana internationally at the Miss Tourism World Pageant. And speaking to 3 Entertainment, later Blandina said winning Miss Tourism is a dream come true. Nanama Brown was named first runner-up with Jessica Pendo grabbing the second runner-up position. And our Ghanaian movie producer, Socrates Safo, has said that the decision by some movie producers to give out their movies to television stations to show for free was a mistake. Speaking to 3 Entertainment, the popular producer noted that what was meant to help improve the industry ended up putting most producers out of business. Take a listen.
Out of ignorance, we decided to abandon the cinemas and just go direct. Then we made the biggest mistake of all. We saw television as another distribution channel. That was when the TV stations started coming up. And their approach to us was that the old film that we finished showing, we should give it to them to show. Because for us, out of ignorance of the fact that film has a 5-year lifespan, because every 5 years you have new generation, that is new market, who have not seen the film. So if you take them back to the circle again, you will make more money than giving it to the TV stations. This was the kind of knowledge and experience and information that we lacked at that time. We thought that we are disposing of it and being smart by giving it to the TV station so they will advertise our new films. For us, it was a win-win for us. Little did we know again that the audience will get wiser and smarter. The platform that we were using was wrong because it was a platform that was giving free access to the content to the audience who are paying for it through another window.
In international news this afternoon, Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso, 3 West African Sahel nations ruled by military juntas, have signed a security pact promising to come to each other's aid in case of rebellion or external aggression. The 3 countries are struggling to contain Islamist insurgents linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State group, and have also seen their relations with neighbors and international partners strained because of the coups. The latest coup in Niger drove a further wedge between the 3 countries of the regional bloc, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, which was threatened to use force to restore constitutional rule in the country. Well, on that foreign note, we end today's edition of Midday Live. It came to you live from the news app here at Adesawe Kanda. My name is Josh Quinn. For more news updates, you'd want to log on to our website. It's 3news.com. Thanks for watching. It's always a pleasure coming your way. Enjoy your weekend.